welcome back to the next part of the Mashaal choreography. Today we're going to be working on a series of heavy accents and shimmering canoe interludes. So we'll be going back and forth between things with the shoulders and the hips or full body drops, and then movement pathways with the veil or shimmying. So most of the time it will either be accenting in the hips with the doom, boom, 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 or in the shoulder, bum, 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 and then either bringing the arm up or bringing the arm across. Alternatively, you could do some shimmying in certain sections. There's a lot of flexibility with this part of the music, and for me personally, I find this really difficult to pinpoint a specific choreographic choice because the sequence that I do every time is different. So what we're going to do is play with some suggestions. I'm going to show you a variety of motions that you could do here, and then you can put them in whatever sequence feels best to you. So the last thing we did was step over with the left foot. So we've stepped out, crossed, and shimmied as we've gone around with the bus. So we've gone shimmy, down, the veil is here, and then the music's gonna go boom, 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 da 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 da. So we'll bring the arm up. So we'll drop 1, 2, 3, 4, da 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 da. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you'll go sort of back and down, and as you're leaning, your hand is crossing over and your body is sort of on a tilt so that you have a little bit more attitude to go drop, drop, drop forward, and sort of bring the whole upper body forward, the little extra something behind it. And then we'll switch again. And we'll go from there. So it might have hips sometimes, it might have shoulders. Okay, so let's look at some different postures we might have in the body during this section. Because we're doing this sort of repetitive section in the music, I really want to add a little bit of coyness to what we're doing to keep things interesting. So you're going to melt through positions rather than make sharp transitions. And you can feel free to reduce the amount of exertion or increase the amount of exertion depending on what's right for your body, personality, and physical capabilities. So something I really like to do is have this shoulder dropped, and I might make that even more increased for this. So I might sort of come to one side and dun 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 dun, da 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 da, bum 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 bum, and really like play with that sort of golden era tech through the collarbone and upper chest, which just has like a little punch forward of the shoulder. You can almost think about like the pectoral muscle coming forward or the sort of collarbone coming up, whatever visual works better for you. There's no pressure to do the same pattern that I'm doing here, but something to address the accent. So if your body mechanics prefer to go forward, 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 drop, or 1, 2, 3, 4, or even maybe down, 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 up, which is how this started and then transformed into more forward and back over time. Any of those are okay. But I want to play a little bit with the sort of attitude change of this posturing, and then switching between framing the hips as well. Occasionally, you might see me do some full body drop through the heels, so everything's just coming up and boom, 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 or dun, 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 or possibly even like a little undulation, like dun, 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 da, 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 da. Because there is sort of like, on some of the accents, you might hear this lengthening before the canoe comes in. So you have a lot of room to play, and that's what this is all about. After this series of drops and accents, we're going to be going into a barrel turn. But the barrel turn, instead of starting with the arm coming down, is going to be going up and back over. Let's start with a normal barrel turn, and that way we can reverse it. So in a normal barrel turn, say if we're starting forward towards the mirror or our audience, and our arms are out towards the side, as we cross over, that hand is going to follow. The other hand's going to come down, and you can look down towards the ground to help you spot. You'll cross again, spot down, change the arms, spot down. Let's do it just a few times. So you'll go 1, 2, 1, 2. Cross over, change feet. Okay, change feet meaning the other foot's on the ball. Let's do that going the other direction. So we're out here, you're going to cross, drop the other arm down, and then hand comes down. Cross over, drop down. 1, 2, 1, 2. If we're reversing this, we need to go the other way. So our foot is going to be crossing behind this time. So back, and you can think about it as dropping the arm. In my mind, the physics of the movement, the arm is going up and back. So that's how I'm going to refer to this. So we're coming here, the arm is going back, and that shoulder is dropping. So for me, that's really where the momentum is that this part is swooping over and then dropping down, and then going into the next movement. So let's do that just a few times. Cross back, drop that shoulder, come back to neutral. Cross, as you cross, the arm's coming up, and this time your face should try to either follow your hand up and down, or as quickly as you can, look down. So it's almost like it stays in line with your shoulder the entire time because you want spotting to be quick so you don't get dizzy. It's here, down. And then we're going to come up onto the balls of our feet for the next thing. So you're really just doing one barrel turn and then coming into the undulation. So let's try it on the other side as well, in case you're going to do it on this side. So you can cross back and drop that shoulder. One more time. Cross and drop the shoulder. Cross and drop the shoulder. And then you'll come up and step out. Most of the time I do this, I continue in the same direction. So you're going to be undulating with a level change as you turn around yourself. And you can make this more and more layered and complex, but let's just look at these like 3 basic elements first. So the undulations I like to do normally start in the pelvis, but this time I have a little bit more mid-body to upper body reaction with this music. So let's maybe think about this starting from inside the rib cage or inside the diaphragm, rather than any part of external part of the body. The momentum is really coming from inside the body, and my rib cage is sort of lifting and then contracting back into the body. And as I contract into the body, I'm allowing the ripple to just pass through the rest of my spine and through the rest of the torso and relax out. So you start in a contracted state. The upper abdominals and the sort of muscles that go up inside the rib cage are in a poised position, which means they have a little bit of contraction in them, and they're going to lift up and then sink back through the body. And as I sink, my spine is going to straighten, my pelvis is tucking and releasing. So we'll do that a few times. Lift and roll, roll, roll. Contract, contract, contract. So the motion really, a lot of the tension or texture that I have in my dancing is a bit like a rubber band or a spring where there's a stretch happening and a contraction or a release. And the release isn't just letting the tension out, but rather recoiling. So there's an active quality both to the expanding and contracting elements of what I do. So if you can think about incorporating that into the psychology of your movement and the physicality, it will change the quality of the movement as the audience perceives it in subtle ways. And it will change your own personal experience of the dancing. So this is what I'm doing here. So there's that sort of expanding and coiling. Nice and gentle. You can really have your feet free to move around with this one. The main idea is having a level change. And we'll go up, down, up, down. So I generally keep the back foot on the ball the entire time. There might be a time where if I'm going to change directions, I'll come flat. But for the continuation of this circle, let's say that we're up, down, up, down, and that back heel is staying on the ball the whole time. The undulation is going to follow the music. We're going to go up, down, up, down, up, down. And then there's going to be a little accent in the music, and most of the time I tend to flip the veil and get ready to come into this forward arm position. And we'll go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Usually I have a little hand hop. We'll do the undulation again. Up, down, and then you'll accent. 1, 2, 1, 2. Again, the accent can be just about anything. It could be 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Just play around. 1, 2, 1, 2. Any of those things. And then we're going to have a choo-choo shimmy and then accent again. For the choo-choo shimmy, I really like this idea of like sort of peekaboo, like reveal and cover. So generally on the first time that I do it, I tend to try and bring both arms open like this. So I'm making a circle and it'll come up and open. On the floor, I tend to travel a little bit. You know, you can slide the hips around or make a soft figure 8. That part doesn't really matter, just as much as the sort of sweeping motion of revealing. Oftentimes the second, or in the repeat section, because we'll end up doing this twice, I like more of a 1, 2 sort of sweep. So it'll be like 1, 2. One, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Second repeat, it's going to sort of fade into canoe tuck-seam. So there's going to be a lot of shimmying and we're going to settle down. The section that follows this is a sort of North African, Maghrebi, Tunisian flavor. So we're going to be very up and long lines. And so before that, we really want to contrast with quietness and the settling and a sort of fluidity through the body. So we've gone, it'll be a soft barrel turn that you can think about it in a few ways. You could just think about it as a barrel turn to one direction with a soft turn. You can just think about turning around and sort of dipping with the arms slowly as you go. You can think about it as a barrel turn that progressively changes the spotting. So you're going around in a circle. It doesn't matter too much, use whichever tool helps you with that. But you're going to have a few of these sort of soft dips, and then you're going to settle in and do some shimmying, maybe some accents, tech, and really let the veil just surround you here on the floor and cool on the floor. At the very end of that section, we'll have a lift again, and we'll be pulling the veil around to make a band for our belts we're going to make. So we'll learn about that next time, but that's where we're heading after this. So we just finished tech, step out, shimmy, and you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, da 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 da. 1, 2, 3, 4, da 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 da. 1, 2, 3, 4, da 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 da. 1, 2, 3, 4, da 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 da. 1, 2, 3, 4, da 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 da. 1, 2, 3, 4, da 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 da. 1, 2, 3, 4, da 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 da. And you're going to turn. So there's sort of a cascading effect. You'll hear the sound rise or open and sort of settle and close at times. And the last one, you'll start to learn to hear it. It'll drop, and then it'll wind up. It'll sound like a finish. And then the speed picks up a lot. So we'll have up, down, tech, 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 tech. So this one, you can make the hips go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, but you can give more emphasis to the sound. You'll hear the sort of tech, 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 tech. So you can follow that on this arc. Out, 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 back, out. You can also break down the choo-choo shimmy just a little bit. So we're going to be up on the balls of our feet, and they're going to be really close together. And you can think about it to start as a bunch of little steps that are pushing the hips up and up. So we're again talking about like the head of the femur where it goes into the ball and socket joint of the hip. We're thinking about that part of the pelvis as it's going up and down, which happens the same thing if you're flat-footed. Trying to make it really small. I've noticed that my belly tends to be quite engaged in this because I'm trying to really isolate into the pelvis and let it be free. I want to be in a slight crouch so that my thighs have room to move up and down or back and forth, and that this can be really stable. My belly is coming in, sort of hollowing out towards my back, just to give enough strength to this so that it's not like pound, 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 pounding on the floor. We really want it to be a nice quiet motion that can be layered with really soft little waves through the body.